when it comes to making future predictions. Even the smartest, most accomplished people get it wrong most of the time. It's unfortunate because these are people we tend to listen to and write about. The list of failed predictions is too long to cover in a single video, but here are 9 major ones that were so spectacularly wrong that the authors cringe to this day. Number 9. Who would buy bottled water? The idea of bottling drinking water and selling it had many naysayers. One of the most prominent was the Irish TV host Gay Byrne in 1981. Dubbed Ireland's Johnny Carson, Byrne hosted Jeff Reed, the founder of a new company called Ballygowan. He went on to scoff at the idea and almost laughed Mr. Reed out of the studio. Today, Ballygowan is the leading Irish bottled water company, selling tens of millions of liters every year. And Jeff Reed, well, he's a millionaire. Number 8. No chance the iPhone will be successful. Steve Ballmer's prediction about the iPhone is legendary and goes down in history as one of the most inaccurate ever. It is also one of the most recent and widely publicized failed predictions about a business or technology this century. In 2007, Steve Ballmer, who was then the CEO of Microsoft, predicted that the iPhone, which had just been announced by Apple, would not gain significant market share. His reasons were the device's high price tag and its lack of a physical keyboard.
$500 fully subsidized with a plan? I said, that is the most expensive phone in the world, and it doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard, which makes it not a very good email machine.
Well, the iPhone went on to become the most successful consumer device of all time, and also one of the most influential products ever made. Mobile phones with keyboards are now the past, and because of the iPhone, Apple has gone on to become the most valuable company in the world, overtaking even Ballmer's Microsoft. Number 7. Japanese cars will fail in the United States. In 1968, Business Week published an article explaining why Japanese cars were never going to succeed in the United States. With over 50 foreign cars already on sale here, the Japanese auto industry isn't likely to carve out a big slice of the US market, the publication proclaimed. In the following years, Japanese car brands not only survived in the US, but actually thrived. Today, they enjoy over 30% market share in the United States, overtaking even the Detroit Big Three. Number 6. Overnight shipping is unfeasible. In 1965, Fred Smith, an undergraduate student at Yale, wrote a paper about overnight and air shipping of small freight and parcels. His professor was not impressed and awarded him an average score. The concept is interesting and well-formed, but in order to earn better than a C, the idea must be feasible, he remarked. 6 years later, Fred founded FedEx, a company worth over $50 billion today. Number 5. The internet will collapse in 1996. Robert Metcalfe, the man who invented the Ethernet, was not very bullish about the internet itself. Remarking in 1995, Robert predicted that the internet would soon go bust. Almost all of the many predictions now being made about 1996 hinge on the internet's continuing exponential growth. But I predict that the internet will soon go spectacularly supernova and in 1996 catastrophically collapse. He promised to eat his own words if his prediction failed to pass, and sure enough, in 1999 at a tech conference, he took out the article, added water, blended it, then proceeded to eat those words. Number 4. We've got plenty of messenger boys. In 1878, the chief engineer of the British Post Office, Sir William Preece, was quoted as saying, "The Americans have need of the telephone, but we do not need. We have plenty of messenger boys." I don't know what gave Sir William the idea that the US was understaffed by messenger boys, or telegram boys as we sometimes call them. But wherever the messenger boys were on the planet, their jobs were shortly replaced. Number 3. Cars are just a fad. This is one for the ages. In 1903, the president of Michigan Savings Bank is said to have warned Henry Ford's lawyer, Horace Reckham, not to waste his money investing in this new technology. The horse is here to stay, but the automobile is only a novelty. A fad, he said. Rackham had been asked by Henry Ford to invest in his new company, but out of an abundance of caution, the lawyer first chose to talk to a banker. Pointing to the dwindling number of bicycle users, the banker advised him that the automobile would suffer the same fate. Rackham, however, ignored this advice and went ahead and invested $5,000 in Ford stock. Years later, he sold his shares for $12.5 million. Number 2. The internet is comparable to the fax machine. In a 1998 article, Nobel laureate Paul Krugman argued that the economic impact of the internet would likely be no greater than that of the fax machine, and that the internet's potential for transforming the economy had been greatly exaggerated. He added that by 2005, this fact would be pretty obvious, because most people simply did not have anything to say to each other. A year before his 2005 date, Facebook was founded, and we found out that we did actually in fact have a lot to say to each other. Our big problem today is putting down our phones. And last I checked, we never spent hours upon hours every day on the fax machine. And number 1. The New World? What New World? When it comes to the magnitude and implications of a false prediction, I think nothing beats this one. In 1486, the head of the Spanish Royal Commission wrote an advisory to King Ferdinand II, urging him to reject an exploration proposal by one Christopher Columbus. So many centuries after the creation, it is unlikely that anyone could find hitherto unknown lands of any value, he argued. It is almost impossible to fathom the implications of Columbus not setting sail to America. We'd probably not even be talking about the other failed predictions if King Ferdinand took that wrong advice. Please tell us in the comments what your favorite failed prediction is, and remember to subscribe for weekly business videos.